this is an easy one-person activity once it's been set up. The winch is removable from this base, and it's just powered by a battery. It's nothing too complicated. There's a trailer hitch receiver on a removable bracket that's attached to these ramps. These pieces of 1.5-inch tube that slide through are just here for the sake of keeping everything square and straight. Once the vehicle's up in the air, they can be slid right out as long as your leveling legs are set properly, which are nuts and bolts that rest on the concrete. So as long as the tires are relatively lined up with the ramps, we can start this job. So one-person operation will easily get this car up in the air. You can drive a vehicle up here if you chose to, but in this situation I don't have brakes for this car. The gas lines are rough, so it's better for me to be able to utilize the winch to actually pull the car up there and not have to put myself in any situations where I might overshoot this ramp, end up falling off the end of it. So as long as the steering wheel is unlocked, which it is right now, everything will go pretty smoothly here. It does take a little bit of time for the winch to go through everything, but it's a 3,500 pound winch, so this is really not much labor for it here. So this is my in-depth review of the ramps I built to help me work on some cars. The idea to build these ramps came up when laying under a car trying to repair some rusted out brake lines and thinking there must be a better way. Rather than laying in the gravel, it would be such a treat to sit up under a car and have good safe access below. With not having a garage, that made things a little complicated. Otherwise I could have simply purchased a vehicle lift and I would have been all set. This idea took a little bit of figuring to become a reality, but has definitely been worth the effort. Currently I've been working on replacing some rusted floor pans on an old '84 Chevette, so having the car sitting 30 inches off the ground has made it a pleasure to access all the hard to reach areas. The addition of the winch mount to the front of the ramps has made getting a vehicle up and down an easy one-person job. The ramps are built in 3 sections. The first part of the ramp can be used on its own. If, say, you were doing an oil change or something, you could use both sides of the first portion of the ramp and get the vehicle pretty high up off the ground. The lower portion of the ramp is connected to a center portion and then to the upper portion. So these things come apart into pieces to make them easier to move around and manipulate. They've been built to be used in a garage. The thought was you could drive the car up onto the ramps while the ramps are just set up in a garage. You could then remove the approach ramps, be left with just the top flat portion, and safely close your garage door. When setting up the ramps, the width is adjustable to accommodate a variety of different vehicles. Each supporting leg has its own leveling bolts to compensate for uneven ground. The ramps are built out of 1/8-inch wall, 2-inch square tube, 2-inch angle iron, 1.5-inch square tube, 1-inch angle iron, and some extruded steel. All in all, the ramps have been a very handy tool for me at home and have assisted in a mix of repairs, including oil changes, exhaust repairs, welding, taking a look underneath the vehicle to see what's going on, greasing, troubleshooting. Now, having the space to set them up would be key for anybody looking for something similar. And I do have to give credit to my brother and dad. They were a huge help with this project. My brother's welding skills were used throughout the project. He's a very good teacher. My dad was very involved with the designing process to ensure these ramps weren't too steep for lowered vehicles. We wanted to make sure we'd have enough ground clearance. Thanks again everybody for watching.